Hello from the Carers Information Service in Croydon. This is one of a series of short presentations to help answer some of the questions you may have about being a carer and some of the services which might be available to you. Life as a carer can sometimes feel complicated and confusing. We hope to answer some of the most commonly asked questions that carers ask of our service and direct you to find more support if you need it. The first questions we will be answering are: am I entitled to any financial support? What is carer's allowance? And what is lasting power of attorney? Am I entitled to any financial support or discounts for being a carer? Discounts. Carers can often get free or reduced entry to tourist attractions and leisure facilities. Some organisations have their own systems for identifying carers and disabled people. If evidence is required, you may be able to use a Disability Benefit Award Letter, Carers Allowance Award Letter or Blue Badge Letter as proof of your caring role. If not available, a letter from your GP or social services could be used. Grants. There are a range of grants available from different organisations for carers. Check out our grant giving organisations fact sheet for more information. Benefits. The main benefit for carers is carers allowance. See our next slide for more information. You and the person you care for may also be entitled to other disability or means tested benefits. Check out our Money Matters guide for more information. So, what is carers allowance and how can I claim it? Carers allowance is the main benefit for carers. It is currently £67.25 per week from April 2020. The rate generally changes each financial year. To qualify for carers allowance, you must be age 16 or over, care at least 35 hours a week for someone who is receiving a qualifying disability benefit, not be in full-time education over 21 hours a week, not earn over £128 a week after some allowable deductions such as tax and national insurance contributions. Satisfy UK presence and residence conditions. Qualifying benefits are attendance allowance or constant attendance allowance, middle rate or higher rate care component of disability living allowance, either rate of the daily living component of personal independence payment, sometimes called PIP, Armed Forces Independence Payment. You can only receive carers allowance once, even if you care for more than one person. If you share caring responsibilities with someone else, only one of you will be able to claim carers allowance. If you receive means tested benefits such as universal credit, carers allowance will count as income. However, you can get additional money added when calculating your means tested benefits. This is called the carer element in universal credit. Carers allowance is subject to overlapping benefits rules. This means that if you receive one or more of the overlapping benefits, you will not be entitled to carers allowance, even if you meet the other eligibility criteria. Overlapping benefits include state pension, contributory job seekers allowance, JSA, or employment support allowance, ESA, bereavement benefits, such as bereavement allowance, incapacity benefit, maternity allowance, and severe disablement allowance. It can still be worth applying for carers allowance even if overlapping benefit rules apply. This is because you will be recognised as having an underlying entitlement which may increase your means tested benefits. Claiming carers allowance or the universal credit carers element can affect the means tested benefits of the person you care for. If the person you care for currently receives the severe disability premium on means tested benefits, they will lose this when you receive carers allowance. This does not apply if you are awarded an underlying entitlement to carer's allowance. You can get carer's allowance backdated up to 3 months before the date you make the claim. This can be extended to more than 3 months when you claim carer's allowance within 3 months of the date the person you care for received a decision to award them a qualifying disability benefit. To claim carer's allowance, call the carer's allowance unit. For further information on carer's allowance, you can also see Carers UK's information guide. So what is lasting power of attorney and how do I make one? Lasting power of attorney allows a person to make decisions on behalf of a person who lacks mental capacity. Mental capacity is the ability to make and communicate decisions. When making a lasting power of attorney, the person who gives permission for someone to make decisions on their behalf is called a donor. The person who makes decisions on a person's behalf is called an attorney. There are 2 types of lasting power of attorney: property and financial affairs, which covers financial and property decisions, and health and welfare, which covers decisions about health and care. When setting up a lasting power of attorney for property and financial affairs, a person can choose to allow their attorney to make decisions about finances on their behalf before they lose mental capacity. A lasting power of attorney for health and welfare can only be used once a person loses mental capacity. The attorney has certain responsibilities when making decisions on a person's behalf. A lasting power of attorney must be registered with the Office of the Public Guardian to be valid. Lasting power of attorney can be applied for online, but you will need to print out and send the forms with a written signature. A power of attorney is a legal document, but you do not necessarily need to involve a solicitor. You will need a certificate provider to register a lasting power of attorney. This is a person who confirms that the person making the lasting power of attorney knows what they are doing and isn't being pressurised or coerced. A certificate provider can be a professional such as a social worker or solicitor, or someone who has known the person for 2 years or more and isn't a relative or partner. There is an £82 fee to register a lasting power of attorney, but there are some circumstances where fees may be reduced or made exempt. Check the Office of the Public Guardian online for more information. Once a person loses the mental capacity to grant a lasting power of attorney, only the Court of Protection can appoint a decision maker to make decisions on their behalf. The decision maker is called a deputy. A deputy application must be made to the Court of Protection. There are fees to pay to be a deputy, including an application fee and an annual supervision fee, and a number of forms to fill in. It may therefore be helpful to plan ahead and consider appointing an attorney at an earlier stage. Age UK has more information on lasting power of attorney on their website. Do remember that if you need any further help, you can contact the Carers Information Service on 020 8649 9339 and take option 1. Or you can email us at info@carersinfo.org.uk. Or there's lots of other information on our website www.carersinfo.org.uk.